Hey, what's going on, guys? Alex here with TFL Bike, and as always, right next to me,
Case.
And today we have some really exciting news, and I really mean it when I say that, because we are taking a look at the all-new Yamaha R7, their middleweight Supersport, and it is totally redone for this year.
Yeah, I mean, we're all big fans of Yamahas, and especially seeing a full fairing street bike with the CP2 engine is pretty cool. Alex is over the moon.
I'm over the moon about it. I've owned this CP2 engine in an MT-07 or an FZ-07, and without even riding it, this is a bike I'm already considering buying. But let's get into kind of what they've done with it. So the R6 has been around forever. That was always the inline-4 powered middleweight Supersport from Yamaha, and they killed it off last year. So for 2021, you could not buy one. I think they were doing a limited number of runs for a track-only edition. You can correct me down in the comments below if I'm wrong, but no street legal R6 for 2021, and they totally changed up the platform this year with the R7. So tell me a little bit about this engine.
This CP2 engine is 689 cc's. It's a inline 2-cylinder, of course, liquid-cooled, 4-stroke, dual overhead cam. I've ridden this motor in my roommate's FZ-07 as well as the new Tenere 700, and in both of those applications, it's just a blast. If you throw a loud pipe on it, it sounds great. It's pretty torquey down low, and then it builds up to a nice amount of power. I think it's a phenomenal engine.
Yeah, it's really, at least in the MT-07 or the FZ-07 I had, it was kind of geared like a stunt bike, so it'll be interesting to see, how they gear this bike, and if the tuning on the engine's a little bit different, I'm sure it probably will be. By the way, I am flying out to Atlanta this week to go ride this bike and give you guys a full ride impression, so stay tuned for that. This is just kind of a lowdown showing you guys this new model, giving you guys some pictures of it, but coming up very soon, we're going to have a full in-depth ride review, so definitely subscribe and stay tuned for that.
Now, since this R7 is basically replacing the R6, it's going to sit in between the R3 and the R1. Now, that's a little confusing. The R3 is the smallest bike.
Yep, that's the 300.
Yeah, the R1 is a leader bike. It's the biggest, so the R7 sits in the middle. Even though, in terms of pure numbers, that doesn't really make sense. R3, R7, R1.
Doesn't make sense at all, but this at least looks very similar to the R6. You can see a lot of styling cues that carried over from the R6 to this. And the R6, the one that just got discontinued, hasn't been around that long. 2017 is when they fully revised that bike. But front end looks very similar. You have those squinty-eyed daytime running lights. Now you have one single headlight in the middle, though, as opposed to the two outer ones that are on the R6. The tail design for this R7 looks really similar to the R6, but you get a whole new dash design on this. It's a really cool looking dash. Again, I'll get to see it in person later this week, but overall design-wise, it looks like an R6 with a CP2 engine stuffed in it, which is exactly what people were hoping for, and it's good to see we got what we were asking for.
Now, in terms of suspension, you get a KYB 41mm front fork. It's adjustable for preload, rebound, and compression.
Yeah, so fully adjustable front forks, really good to see that on a race bike like this. The MT-07, which this engine comes out of, did not have inverted front forks, but this being a race bike has inverted front forks, so good to see that. As far as brakes go, you have a radial master cylinder from Brembo. You also have dual 298mm discs up front, so you should have some pretty good stopping power. Just to go through a couple other things on this bike, there is an optional quick shifter that you can get from the dealer. This is also the first bike with the CP2 engine to have an assist and slipper clutch. So the Tenere as well as the MT-07 don't have the slipper clutch. You do get it on this bike. And overall, like I said, good suspension. It looks like good brakes from Brembo, and just really excited to see how this rides and how kind of the new middleweight Supersport compares to the old one. We're going to this parallel twin system, just like the RS660 from Aprilia. So we're seeing the switch from middleweight Supersports going from inline 4s into parallel twins, and it's really cool. I'm excited to try it out.
Yeah, and one of the really great things about going from an inline 4 to a parallel twin is it should make the motorcycle overall narrower, which is not a bad thing at all. I mean, it makes it easier to get your feet down on the ground. Should hopefully make the bike more aerodynamic, just more compact packaging overall.
Yeah, and that's never a bad thing on a bike like this that you're definitely going to want to take to the track. And also the other cool thing about having a parallel twin is the streetability. So the old R6, the old 600s, you have to rev them out so high to get any power on the street. They're really sluggish down low in the RPM range. It's a great bike to take on the track, but the parallel twin should be better for an all-rounder, something you're going to ride to work, commute on, have fun on in the canyons, and then maybe take to the track day once in a while.
Yeah, CP2s are actually decently torquey. It's nothing crazy, but plenty down low. It doesn't feel super sluggish like a lot of especially old school inline four-cylinder bikes do. And I think that makes these actually really great bikes for new riders. It's, again, they're lightweight, compact. You've got good power all over the rev range, but it's not anything that spikes like crazy. It's pretty linear. So overall, super fun, whether you're just starting out or you've been riding for years. These CP2 engines are awesome. I'm jealous that you're getting to ride this.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. One of your roommates just bought an MT-07 or FZ-07 with the CP2 as their first bike. A lot of people bought R6s as their first bike, which I don't think is a great idea, but now that it's a parallel twin, more streetable, it's probably a better choice for the street than the old R6. So now let's get to the part that got me really excited, which is the price and the availability. I thought this was going to be a much more expensive motorcycle than it is. $8,999, $9,000 for this. The MT-07 is $7,700, so you're looking at about $1,300 more to jump into one of these. But the main competition for this bike is the RS660 from Aprilia, and that bike is $11,500. Those are the only two bikes in this category that are using a parallel twin. It's kind of a new thing, and this one is much cheaper than the Aprilia. And because of that, I think it's going to sell much better than the Aprilia.
Yeah, it's probably going to sell pretty well. It might even sell to Alex.
It might. We'll see. I'm hoping I don't fall too much in love with it because I really do like my KTM RC390. But I could definitely use a little more power on the straights, and this would do it for me. So we'll see how I like it.
So what different colors can you get the bike in?
The bike comes in, let's see, it is, what do they call it? It's black and blue, but Team Yamaha Blue is the official name, and Performance Black. And I would definitely go with the Team Yamaha Blue, even though I already own a Yamaha MT-09 in that same color. But you got to go with Yamaha's racing colors.
Yeah, and especially, again, just looking at that picture that's on the TV behind you, it's good looking in that blue. I like that color.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. This one that you see on the screen behind us definitely is not what you would buy from the showroom floor. You can tell it doesn't have turn signals. It doesn't have mirrors. So they definitely tracked this one out a little bit.
Yeah.
There'll be some extra parts on there that probably don't look quite as good when you buy it from the showroom. But anyway, super cool looking bike. We kind of just wanted to give you guys a little sneak peek before I fly out and ride this thing. So yeah, let us know what you think down below.
Yeah, absolutely, and stay tuned because Alex is going to have it on the track very soon.